All right, what's up, Wolf Empire? We just finna look at the market right now. The market has about like roughly 20 minutes left. I'm just going over the charts right now. I'm still looking at Oracle to see if they're gonna try to throw a Hail Mary and try to make it back to like 218.65, 219 to try to do provide us with a liquidity sweep. Um, I hope you all dominated the market today. I was putting signals out. Put a signal out for Oracle for you all to build a trade plan for it. As you all know, Nvidia has earnings next week, so you don't want to be sleeping on Nvidia. Um, I'm just looking for oversold things that shouldn't be oversold this much. I was kind of shocked at Netflix today too. Netflix kind of held its ground pretty good. Eli Lilly held up pretty good. Um, Tesla came down under 400 today. It closed this gap right here on this side of the chart. What I really want from Tesla, though, I know a lot of people was waiting on just that move right there. To me, that isn't good enough. It may bounce a little bit, but if you look here, it has a double top. We got this neckline right here at this price. And so when you look at that 411 price, it might pop back up. Say we close the day under that level, it may pop back up and retest that neckline. But man, bro, look at the chart. Looks kind of gross as far as how it can drop. So I wouldn't be in a rush just to kind of rush back into Tesla, to be honest with you. It can come down and do a liquidity sweep at 383. The 200 is right down here at 347, around in this range. So we'll see how that plays out. Hey, baby, it's okay. What else we looking at is, you want to look at your chip stocks. You got Nvidia that's pulling back. And let's see. That's my Discord alerts going off. So we got Nvidia here. It's got an open and close candle here and here under the cloud. It's very close to a liquidity sweep. And it really might be a destination where Michael Burry Michael Burry might take profit once we get back down to this range. I don't know how long he's planning on holding his puts. But you see we have earnings on the 19th. That's next week on Wednesday. Man, they have a lot of buyers in this range. So this is a green wall right here. So I wouldn't be looking for too much on them. So if they did sweep liquidity, they'll probably be right here at this level. Let me flip that to orange. So they'll probably be right here at this level. So if they pull back under 180 and then jump back out of that block, especially if they do that before Wednesday, that'd be a good buy-in if they did that like tomorrow. If they did it like tomorrow, I probably would get a short dated earning contracts. I mean, if you look at their volume profile, they get busy in this range. They can pop or drop really easy. You see how the intense volume and buying is happening right here around 177, 182, 183 up in this range. As it pushes higher, like say if it takes off, it's going to take off and be a runner because it has the volume profile is the volume kind of tapers off as you move higher. It has to hold, in this 177 range. If it loses that, it can come back down pretty quick and pretty aggressive. So you want to pay attention to that with Nvidia. We really been having rallies based off of semiconductor strength. So stocks like Nvidia, AVGO, some of the other ones like AMD. A lot of these stocks, they run off each other, and because they have they have like a supply chain where Nvidia kind of at the core of it, and you have the other ones like MU and Intel and AMD, AVGO, TSM. They all kind of feed off each other because when like people are buying and building data centers, they all make money. So we have trillions of dollars stuck inside of semiconductors right now, as far as all the investors. So it can, it could, if they tank, if Michael Burry is right, saying it can't really impact, saying the entire market if they drop. I got a feeling though that next earnings, Meta has been putting up a lot of money, a lot of additional money, and investing in things like that. If they don't have a real benefit, material benefit from all this investing they're doing, I believe they're going to announce they're probably cutting back on spending. Meta seems kind of like Du Bois to me, when like people start complaining with Meta too much, they'll start cutting employees and doing whatever they got to do for the shareholders to be happy. So if they drop this far down, based off of, CapEx spending and things like that, they might, Meta might cut. So I'm still looking for Meta to come down and just sweep liquidity right in this range. Although Meta does have a bearish case to where if they lose 574, they can come down and to these lower ranges. I'm not anticipating them at this point to just break through all this like easily. I mean, especially since this is the first test of this order block. So they had buyers come in March 17, 2025, and then they pushed them up. Now they're back down in this range. So I'm not, anticipating them just losing that range easily. So I'm hoping that they come down, spend a little time under here, do a liquidity sweep, man. You have a lot. You got the point of control on the VRVP on the weekly time frame here. You got liquidity maps from the WTMA tracking liquidity right here in this range. So this to me is the range that I want to get them in. I'm trying to be patient with them. And I really don't have a choice but to be patient. I mean, the WTMA and the 12 cloud are way up here away from it. So I'm not really in a rush to jump into Meta because smart money hadn't rushed to Meta's rescue yet. So all these little pops, maybe just retail investors buying a dip, things like that. But I haven't seen any real, like committed buying, All right, so let's see. We'll come into the Discord right quick. So a lot of people in the Discord been getting busy today. I like that, so we got a lot of activity in here today. A lot of the leaders stepping up. I've been putting stuff in here. Mandy Hustle, Wavy, like King Manny. They all been putting in work. We've been watching Oracle today to see what they're gonna do. And the thing is, when I put an idea out there like Oracle, it's not about jumping right into a trade. It's about, running those screenshots to Black Wolf, doing a top-down analysis, and just I want you to build a trade plan. So I want y'all to always understand when Coach tell y'all add this ticker to your watch list, add Oracle to your watch list. It's about to do a buy side or sell side liquidity sweep. That doesn't mean Coach saying, hey, go buy Oracle as soon as it hit this level. That's me telling you, all right, this is one I got my eye on. Go build a trade plan for it. Approach it in a way that an elite trader will approach it. I'm training you guys to become elite investors and elite traders. And that all falls into having a trade plan, because if I can get you all to buy into, build a trade plan for it, just go ahead and build a professional grade trade plan for it. Stop overthinking stuff. Like a lot of times I see you guys overthinking things. I built the ecosystem in this way so you won't have to overthink and so that you won't have to trade by yourself. So when I put a signal out there, send your screenshots in to Black Wolf, Shon The Wolf AI. Because you own a wolf chart and you have possession of a wolf chart, you have the ability to create professional grade trade plans. Let me say that again. Because you're in this ecosystem, if you own a wolf chart, you have the ability to create professional grade trade plans that are more elite than probably any other retail trader probably in the US right now. And the reason that is because the indicators that I built for the wolf chart are only on the wolf chart, like the WTMA, the WTMA cloud. These are real-time liquidity tracking engines, right? And technology. So in the way that I program Black Wolf's brain to think like me, it doesn't think like ChatGPT. It thinks like um, it's looking at smart money intent. It's going further than just saying, oh yeah, it's a support level right here and it's a resistance right here. So buy right here at the support level and buy when it gets above the 12 EMA. The AI that I built is smart enough to look at your chart and say, that looks like a liquidity trap right there. And so what's the intentions of smart money? Why? So they probably going to push price down to liquidity, sweep liquidity. Then you want to wait on them to commit to the trade with the inverse arc. And then even to be safer, let it reclaim the 12 in the short-term trend. Then we'll enter once the trend is aligned on multiple time frames and we can get into this trade safely. And if we're wrong, this is the stop loss. And if we're right, these are the take profit targets. So it's a professional grade thinking from the angle of smart money intentions. And it's really going to trade and show you a trade plan with intentions in it, not just levels. So it's on a whole nother level. They hadn't caught up with us yet. So take advantage of that. So yeah, but it's a lot of people getting busy in the Discord. You know, got Hustle coming in with 100%. I made some 100% trades today, things like that. I did spend some time in the spot chat. I've been coming in here in a day. I'm gonna start jumping into other ones, probably small cap next week, and spend some time over there to see how people are doing over there. You know, we got people in here making money. You know, so this Wings, she made 730 today, which is great. I dropped some wins in here today, 96%. And so we got, you know, I'm very proud of you guys. I had this trade earlier today. This was at 9:50. Coach got busy super early because I saw the opportunity. You know, if you look at this win right here, so I had, you know, $7,000. I put up 10. That's almost a double up. 73% on this. These are the 678 puts on SPY. And then Coach had the nerve to jump back in again with $8,000 spent on this one, 16%. I end up getting, I forgot what percent I won on this one right here, but I think I clipped it a little bit. I put a stop loss on it, so I got stopped out, but in profit. So I made over 1,000 on that one. And so, you know, Coach get in here and get busy, you know what I'm saying? So when I first posted it, it was at 48%, and it almost doubled up. And so you really think about it, if anybody would have still got into these 678 puts, these puts, if I went back and look at the option chain now, they're probably up maybe like 300% or something like that, because SPY has dropped all the way down to 671 today. So if I was just held these 40, ain't no telling how much I would have made on SPY today, probably like 30 G's or something like that. So, but, you know, I'm not all about getting in, trying to get it all in one play, you know what I'm saying? Getting, you know what I'm saying, making, you know, 10,000 a day is okay with me. You know what I'm saying? I leave some runners sometimes and things like that, but I'm not trying to get in here and just, you know, hold stuff all day long. I want to hit my targets and then, you know, get out of there, right? I also ran on SoFi today. This all in the same trading day. So this jumped into SoFi. I saw the opportunity when they lost that level, that 29 range. You know, so I went ahead and got the 27.5 puts. I posted in here that, you know what I'm saying, they got liquidity down there. They can bounce from that range. So they did come down there, bounce back up. But then when they lost that 29 range, you know what I'm saying, it's put time then on that one. So, so yeah, man, we were dropping in and getting busy today. We'll see when market close how much profit people made. In the Discord right now, you know, we put our profits down here, profit and loss, and see what people are doing in here. People are already dropping stuff in here. Big Loud, you know what I'm saying, he always gonna make bread every day. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody say about my boy. He gonna make, not that nobody saying nothing bad about him, don't get me wrong. Everybody love him. But consistent, you know what I'm saying? He gonna make, you know what I'm saying, $100 plus every single day. And you can make a living like that, you know what I'm saying, a whole extra income making that type of bread every single day. And you see how Big Loud get in and he get out. You know what I'm saying? He have his trade strategy. He may make 28 on this one. He may make 100 on one. He may make 50 on one, 30. Shit, I didn't even see him take 15, 10. But if you do that, you know what I'm saying, you scalping and you end the day green up 100, you know what I'm saying, $100 or whatever or more, you know what I'm saying, by the end of the week, you know what I'm saying, you up $500. By the end of the month, you up $2,000. $500 weeks, 4 of them. That's 2 G's. In a year, what's that? 24,000, right? So, but I don't think we had that many trading weeks, but you get the point. You know what I'm saying? Like those little wins and gains add up. So you don't have to get a home run, or you don't have to, you know, eat the whole bull, right? You don't have to, when you hunting, you don't have to eat the whole meal right then. You can take a nibble here and there. And then when the opportunity comes, you know, you can be bold and go more aggressive, right? But getting back to Meta and the stock market, so we got like 7 minutes left in the market. And so I was looking at ORCL. Let's go back to them. It looks like they're going to do something that is not normal, right? If they lose this order block on their first test, that's bearish. They got another one, I think, right under it on a daily. But I was hoping they would come back up and rush back up and reclaim it. But it doesn't look like they're going to have enough juice to do so. So we'll be looking now for a sweep of this level at 202 if they can't get back above that. So let me mark this level out. And that's the beauty of having a trade plan, right? So Coach was looking for Oracle to prove itself first, right? So I'm not just going to jump into Oracle just because it's in a demand zone on a daily time frame. I'm looking for certain behavior. And the behavior that I'm really looking for, if you think about it, is just simply I'm gonna follow the leader. So I know that smart money wants it at it's a good deal to get Oracle at that price. Because if I do a liquidity sweep and the price shoots back up, only the billionaires and millionaires and these hedge funds that manage all these assets can push that thing back up in the midst of a crash like this or a breakdown like this. So that's my signal. That's like putting the bat signal in the air. So when I see that as the wolf, I say, okay, Wallstreet has bought into Oracle. So now, since I see they swept liquidity, now I'm in preparation to get into Oracle myself, following behind them buying in first, because, you know, I can't protect this position alone. You know, so they can wipe me out. But if some other billionaires and hedge funds see value in buying Oracle at that price range, then I see value in buying it at that price range. If they don't see value, then Coach don't see value. I'm in here trying to make money. I'm not trying to, you know, be right. I'm trying to be on trend. I'm trying to be on time, and I'm trying to, you know, make money with them. I'm not trying to fight against them and try to prove something to them. I'm trying to see what they're doing, be smart enough to detect what they're doing, and then, you know, do it with them. And so the sooner a trader learn that, that's when you become profitable. It's all about, everything I'm teaching you guys is about learning their behavior, not so you can fight them or outsmart them, but so you can join them when they're trapping retail traders. So if we finna trap retail, let's trap them. I'm gonna buy puts with y'all, drop the market with you. If we finna run it up and trap bears, let's run it up. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to be fighting against them ever, right? Everything I do, everything I'm teaching you all is to always trade with the money. Because you hear people say, don't fight the trend, always trade with the trend. The trendsetters are these billionaires and these people that manage trillions of dollars. So they are the trend. So the sooner you start thinking like them, the better off you'll be in the market. Let's see. But yeah, it looked like Nvidia kind of rebounded a little bit. So yeah, look, they not in a good position though. They got an open and close count under the 12. So you have to give them a chance to kind of rebound. I don't know when they're gonna try to make a move on them. If they don't make it in the next 3 minutes or 2 minutes, you know, they might make the move tomorrow to try to get their earnings position if they're gonna play them. Let's see what they're looking like over here. Yeah, so they had the mid range, man. So they looking at 234 as a average fair value for Nvidia right now. So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what they end up doing with them. It's like they might make their move tomorrow. AMD as well. They got them at a medium range, 274. So these things right here is what I'm gonna be keeping my eye on. SoFi, this environment for a stock like SoFi. So let's talk about SoFi. These things right here on Coach screen right here. These yields, when you hear Coach talk about the treasury yields and things like that, you don't want to see SoFi loans out money to make money, right? And so anytime these things are going up, when they're going up, these yields, that means that it's becoming more expensive to borrow money. So you know how right now it's hard to go get a car loan without having to, trade in your life to pay, to get the loan, or you're trying to get a mortgage, but the interest rates on the mortgages are extremely high. These things play a part in causing the banks to raise interest rates. So when the Fed cuts rates, these things turn red and drop, right? What you don't ever want to see, you don't want to see these all green and the VIX green. So when you see this combination right here, you got a green VIX. Hold on, baby. You got it? Okay, go over there and sit down. You don't want to see you don't have no shirt on, baby. You don't want to see a green VIX, green treasury yields, and all running up at the same time, especially if you mess around and have the DXY strong at the same time as well. You will almost always see your stocks red when you see this happen, because this puts downward pressure on stocks. And so you gotta look into that, make sure that you don't see that happening. And so we see like SoFi, with it being a company that gives out loans and things like that, it ain't good when these yields are pushing up, making it more expensive to borrow money and things like that. That's bad for business. That's bad for Tesla business. So when you look at Tesla been doing okay, trying to rebound and things like that. But them yields going up, nobody wants to go get car loans when the interest rate is this high. And so you have car companies like CarMax and Tesla, even though they're much more than just a car dealership right now, most of their revenue is coming from that. So, when you see these yields shooting up like that, that's bad for business. You feel me? So when you look at these used car places and things like that, people that sell cars or need consumers to go get loans to pay for their product, this is gonna hurt them. You know what I'm saying? You look at CarMax, look at their earnings, in this type of environment. Ain't nobody buying no cars. They gotta pay an arm and a leg for trying to get into 15-year loans to get a car, and Trump trying to propose a 50-year mortgage. Man, nobody's trying to do all that, just to get, like necessities in life, man, that you a car and like a housing, so that's just bad for business. So when you see them yields popping up like that, you always see. That's why I keep them lined up like that. You see how, look at this, all green, all red. See that? This crushes Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Bitcoin, this risk on, things like that, man, it crushes that stuff. That's why even like a while back, I told the Discord, Coach, I'm waiting on it to get around like 95,000 in sweep liquidity before I even touch or even look at Bitcoin. And it's almost there now. So we have things like that. And so we want to look into having our eye on the ball when it comes down to understanding these treasury yields and how they, impact the market. You know what I'm saying? Small cap stocks. When you see these yields pushing up like that, you'll see stuff like IWM get destroyed. You know what I'm saying? The DXY right now is weak, but it's only weak right now because we don't know what labor is really doing. But if you look at his pattern that it's making right here, it might come down here and take its time and try to see what happens next week with data. But once it gets above this rectangle breakout, it's in a double bottom and a rectangle breakout. So it's gonna try to come up here and test these levels above 100. You know what I'm saying? So, and then if it start holding it, if that labor is strong or we get strong economic data, it's gonna start pushing up, and then that's gonna, give us some confidence in regards to us not being in a recession. But at the same time, it also is gonna solidify that the Fed probably won't cut rates in December. So, but we need that data. They need to release the data so we can make some decisions and game plan. Right now, the market is still flying blind. Let's look at where SoFi might be going. I know a lot of people is in SoFi. Uh, so it ended yesterday with a double top, which was the risk. Right now, it really isn't. I don't know if this double top will play out on SoFi. Only unless stuff just gets really bad and the yields just keep going up. Only because the neckline is sitting right here in a demand zone. So if it even comes down to test this neckline, they're going to fight to try to push it back up. Um, Short term though, I had that 27.50 put on them because I was just hoping they came down and swept liquidity right here and try to regroup. But again, it's interest rate sensitive. So it needs that data just as bad as Tesla and all these other interest rate sensitive stocks like the real estate sectors and things like that. They need that data to know, where is inflation at, and so they can also make decisions on, where they want to allot money at. You see how this real estate uh, ETF or whatever, this real estate fund, you see how it's just dropping and dropping and dropping because everybody's concerned about what is the labor market doing, and then the next we got some big stuff coming up like Black Friday. Soon as that sales data come out, they're gonna really just kind of judge that. And if we don't get any other data and that consumer data comes out bad, so that's gonna be a problem for the market. That's powerful enough to cancel any kind of Santa Claus rally we might think we're gonna get. So once we get that data, I think that that's gonna be, you know, the best thing for the market. Because I don't know if it's just gonna cause a sell off, but it just gets rid of uncertainty and fear when we know. Because worst case scenario, say we have bad labor data, that's fine because we can rotate into defensive stocks. But without getting anything, nobody knows what to do. So everybody's just selling everything. You see how mostly all the stocks in the market is red. So it's just a sign that nobody knows where to put the money at. In the meantime, we put the money on puts and let them, if they want to crash the market, we just buy puts and ride it down. So let's look at the heat map right quick to see. So you have something. So of course you had Berkshire rising like a phoenix, right? Because they be going to cash and they play in the safe. And so if anybody's gonna have the money to buy quality companies while they're selling off, and I told you all last week, I know it didn't, they pushed the market up, but you got to start understanding smart money behavior. I told you all last week that, okay, they finna start chasing stocks. They got high PE ratios. And we came up with that list of stocks with high PE ratios. And so they pushed the market up for like the next day or so. But then look where we are now. And a lot of these stocks that had high PE ratios that weren't justified yet, a lot of these stocks got hit the worst. And so they're going to find a way to balance that stuff out. You probably want to keep your eye on Berkshire. They did good today. a lot of these stocks that are green today on this big pullback, like the energy sector. I mean, we looked at XLE the other day and pinpointed that one as one. Okay, they're trying to rotate into energy. Um, and so you want to start looking at these stocks that we had pointed out with high PE ratio. They may have more room to drop. Um, this is after us talking about XLE the other day, right? Remember they were down here and they pushed all the way up, right? And so money was going into rotating into energy. They ran into some resistance up here, but uh, we want to keep our eye on the ball. Today, since the market just closed, when you're doing your homework, you want to go ahead and go to uh you got these private trade notes, which is new. All this is in beta testing. But more importantly, you want to look at, well, these are very important. So let's look at these. So you got a daily buy signal here. You got a daily buy signal here. So you want to look at these. Um, so far I had a daily time frame cloud cross. Let's look at them and see what their chart looks like. So that signal just means that the 12 crossed that it's crossing down on the WTMA cloud. So you see how we got this crossover locked in, the 12 crossed under it. So this candle might open up tomorrow under the 12 and the cloud and the WTMA, which is kind of bearish, right? So you probably won't come down, test 28, but this is where your money is sitting at, right down here. And this order block has already swept liquidity one time, so it's going to be weaker the next time you come down here. So it may come down in this range, or even down to this order block down here eventually before it settles out. Because this one has also been tested. So the only one that hasn't been tested, you know what I'm saying, is this one in recent times, right? So we want to look at that. Let's go back through. Let's see if this buy signal triggered correctly on BBAI, which is weird. Let's see. Big Bear. Did they recently have earnings or something? No, it's a false signal. They got an inverse arc, but I don't see a daily buy signal on them. Let's see. So Oxy, which is part of energy, they got a crossover on the 12 cloud and WTMA. The 12 cloud and WTMA got a decent relationship because this signals when we're going to get some of those more parabolic type of moves. And so let's see what kind of chart they got. So this is the 12 crossing that bottom layer. So it means that Oxy is trying to get in position to come up and test or try to conquer this 43.35 price to come up and test the 200. So keep them on watch. And so when you're going through these signals, you just want to go through them and take note of the alerts that you get. And then we have some supply zone conquered. So this is going to be a small list today, right? Because the entire market was dropping. But here we go with a few that went up. So you want to take note of the ones that were strong during this pullback. So we got Berkshire. Uh, I think this is that quantum stock, right? You got Verizon, right? So these type stocks right here, you want to take a look at to see uh kind of do a top down analysis on them, see if there's some opportunities there. And then you got the demand zone conquered. We have Oracle. Oh, this one showed up on both of them. I have to check that one. Oracle lost its daily demand zone. Palantir. Let me see now. So a lot of these we know and love, right? And so these stocks lost their daily demand zone. So this was one of the ones that we had talked about last week about the PE ratio being too high, and it bounced back up to 193. People probably went long on it again, but it went ahead and its fate was signed, right? We got the crossover right there, but it's then went from 208 all the way back down to historical support. It's under the 12 cloud now with an open and close candle. It's under its VRVP. And when you look at it and zoom out, it's kind of easy to see if you're going to take a risk on calls, it needs to be down here, right? It may take a while to get down there, but the area that makes sense to take a risk on calls is when Palantir comes down and it's under this 158 range. Even coming down here to sweep this daily liquidity map level around here, you wanna see it down in that range, right? Let's see what their analysts are saying they're worth though. 190. So getting them down here at this range would be the ideal price to me to start averaging back into Palantir. This is a daily liquidity map level. Let's check the weekly chart. Yeah, so the weekly can come down, test 168. They claim close to that level already. Uh, I will be looking for this 153 level. I don't think they're coming back down too far because they didn't miss earnings or anything. They just didn't, beat, by like, a lot, just only 8%. But that 153 would be a good level to keep on watch. So make sure you have that level on your chart and then build a liquidity map on it if you don't. Other than that, just pay attention and just take what the market give you. You know what I'm saying? If you're in leaps and things like that, don't be afraid to buy puts to hedge yourself. And when the market is dropping like that, don't be the type of person that's panicking and don't have a plan. When you plan a proper plan, you want to have a plan for the upside, a plan for the downside. That way you're not getting caught off guard and panic selling and things like that. You want to plan for both directions. You want to let your stop loss do its job if you get stopped out. So anytime you lose on a trade, lose because you got stopped out. That way, you know for sure that you're managing your risk the correct way. So there's nothing wrong with losing the trade. You're going to lose trades. Coach lose trades. Everybody loses trades. Nobody's 100% with trades. You just want to make sure when you lose less than what you win. So when you win bigger than what you lose. And that's how you stay in this game. Preserve your capital at all costs. Don't think of yourself as no chicken or nothing like that if you sell something because it's making you uncomfortable. If it's making you uncomfortable, that means that your risk is too high. And so you want to cut early. If you're going to cut, make the decision to cut. Go ahead and cut it. And then come up with a trade plan that makes sense, that has proper risk management that you feel comfortable with. That's not going to make you, be losing sleep because you're in a trade, right? And you're overexposed. That's all I got for today, Wolfpack and Wolf Empire. This your boy Shon The Wolf. Y'all stay locked in. I'm gonna see y'all in Discord. We're gonna have some live trainings coming up. Um, so stay focused. As long as you don't quit, you can do this. And those that quit in these hard times like that, like this right here, you never earn the experience to know what coach know. The reason why I know what they about to do before they do it, probably better than anybody y'all know of on YouTube. The reason why I know where something's finna go to and bounce out of, or when to hold back and when to tighten my risk levels up, is because I've been in this game over a decade and coach know what he's doing. And I'm trying to give y'all the same thing using Black Wolf, using the Wolf chart and the whole ecosystem. So just stick with it. By the time a year passed by, the 2 years passed by, you know what I'm saying? To me, you all are leaders and you'll be able to have your own thing going. All right. With that, I'm out.